Whoa, what is going on, guys? Welcome to Virtual Redban number 652, Ohio. That's right, I just got home. I got home at 11:30. So less than an hour ago, I walked in the door. I've been at the airport all day today. I was in Ohio. We'll talk all about that. But I decided to, I just got off the plane, wide awake. And I'm like just sitting there watching some TV. And I'm like, fuck, what am I going to do now? I'm not going to go to bed now. I haven't done Virtual Redban in like 8 days or something like that. It's been a while. Then I thought, I'm not going to be able to do Virtual Redban tomorrow because I have to edit another episode of Kill Tony. I mean, I've been editing so much Kill Tony that I haven't even had free time to do anything. So my next time I was going to be able to do Virtual Redban was Tuesday, and I was like, fuck it. Let's just jump on right now, do a last minute Virtual Redban for you guys. And plus, I missed it. I've been in a hotel room all week. Cheers to you guys. I'm having actually a drink because, believe it or not, even though I was in Ohio, I didn't really drink much. We'll talk about all of that in a second, but cheers. Happy Sunday morning. Yeah. Anyways, guys, don't forget you can always go to deathsquad.tv. There it is. If you want to get a mug like the one I'm drinking out of, or if you want any Death Squad hats, there's a new hat. At the very top of Death Squad, you can just click on Shop Squad, and there you go. You can get the hats, you get the mugs, you get the shirt. Look, there's the new Death Squad hat. I wore it all week in Ohio. People were like, what is this hat? What is it? Anyways, you go to shopsquad.tv. The easiest way to get there is just go to deathsquad.tv. Don't even waste your time. Just go to fucking Death Squad. Right there, Death Squad. You can click on Shop Squad right at the top, or you can click on any of these episodes of Kill Tony. That's right. Surprise. We had an episode of Kill Tony Monday that came out, and this has caused a lot of drama. because this is our 10-year anniversary show. We had it on Moment House, a company that came in and they recorded it and broadcasted it live. We haven't been live in a while. It was very fun. We also had, when you go see a live show of Kill Tony, the band plays for like 30 minutes before every one of our shows. They jam out. So like when people are still getting sat, they'll come out and jam out. And, a lot of people don't know that, because Kill Tony, I start it right when the band ends and when the show begins. So if you got to watch it on Moment House, you got to see the full 30-minute performance that the band did. And they broadcasted it live. They edited it live. They were live switching. They did some things I wasn't a fan of. Like, I don't like the picture in picture. They did like this thing where they had picture in picture, but they also had these big red bars on the top, and and it was just it looked great. They did a great job on it and stuff like that. But I wanted to re-edit it because when one thing that when we used them, we made sure that we got to have the footage. We got to keep the footage. It was our footage. So after they have it on their website for a week, it's ours. So I got to re-edit it, and it was fun editing it, but man, it's so interesting. We have perfected, we still work on it, but we have perfected how to film Kill Tony. You have a left camera, you have a right camera, you have a center camera, then you have like a Yoni camera that just goes around and zooms in things. It's fun. It's pretty much what TV shows do, right? Kind of. But they, Moment House, they just had 8 cameras and everyone's zooming in and zooming out. They didn't have any except for one, they didn't have any cameras that just sat there and film. So it was hard to edit. It was actually really hard to edit, but I re-edited it. So a lot of you who saw the Moment House one and you were bummed out, like, hey, I paid for this. Now you're giving it away for free. Well, this is not the same thing you saw. You guys saw like 40 minutes more of what this is, but you should also watch this one too, because I re-edited it. So there's a lot of things that you didn't see in Moment House. Because, there was a lot of jokes that got lost because they didn't show, something at the right moment. Anyways, check it out. If you haven't seen it, it's out there. And then we knew people were going to be upset. Even though we told you guys when we were doing this, we were like, this is your chance to see it weeks before we release it. Because we were always planning on releasing it. We knew it was coming. So when I was in Ohio, I edited a whole nother episode for you guys, and it was released Friday with the great Ali Sadiq. If you don't know Ali, go check his special out. It's on YouTube. He's a brilliant storyteller, comedian, very funny. Killed it this episode. And it's out right now. Ali Sadiq came out Friday. I edited this episode on a laptop. And let me tell you, I edit Kill Tony. I mean, if you don't know, Kill Tony is about 4 to 6 4K cameras recording, and then I edit it. I edit the audio. It's using a lot of power. I mean, my computer, I have to always have the best computers just because it takes so much to edit it. And I was nervous because this is the first time I was in a hotel room with a laptop and was like, okay, hopefully I can edit a whole 2-hour episode on this laptop. Now, sorry, my voice is kind of gone. Now, this episode was this laptop is one of the new Apple chips, the M2. I think it's the M2 Extreme is what I'm using. And I edit on a Mac Pro with the highest end Intel processor before they switched over to the new Apple chip. So I was very concerned about editing. Holy shit, this laptop edited so much better than my fucking Mac Pro. Like now it makes me feel like every week I could just go on vacation and just edit from hotel rooms. Like I don't need to be in Austin anymore. I could just do this in hotel rooms. It's still kind of like I need a second monitor or something, but it still was harder. It just, the computer did it so well. And anyways, that episode I had a lot of fun with. It is a great episode. If you haven't seen it, it's out right now on youtube.com/killtony. Let's just take a look at it, because you know what? One of my favorite things is, not only did Hans Kim battle just to keep his you know, like, he's a regular, just to keep his regular. He's like, Tony has him battling people. He battled Enrique during the 10-year. This week, he battled the great Jared Nathan on this episode. And if Jared Nathan beats Hans Kim, Jared Nathan takes he's the new regular, and Hans Kim is back in his van. Isn't that crazy? Anyways, it's a great episode, a lot of fun. The great Cam, our new regular, had his first week of being a new regular on the show. And if you haven't seen Cam yet, God damn it, have you not seen? It's crazy when you could see, like, oh shit, this motherfucker is going to be so famous. Like, we're seeing him he's just a baby now. This motherfucker is going to blow the fuck up. I love Cam. And then finishing it off with William Montgomery wearing Janice, my girlfriend's purse. Janice made this purse with her own hands. She crocheted it, I think it's what it's called. But William brought his sweet little dog. He brought his little, you know the sweet little dog he always talks about?
Band-aid on the back of his neck.
And
Montgomery. The Pablo Escobars in the room are very excited right now. William, I'm pretty sure your dog is slowly dying. So I'm gonna end this interview. Maybe we should end it with one little song about the dog, huh?
Yeah.
You want to lead everybody in it?
I got a sweet little dog yesterday.
look at that sweet dog. Look at that sweet little freaking dog. Oh, God, you got to see this episode. A lot of people don't even know this episode was released. So much fun in this episode. Check it out. It's Kill Tony 617. It came out Friday with the great Ali Sadiq. Check out his special also. And oh my God, see this idiot with this big fucking dorky hat on? When you find out what happens here, oh, that right there is a classic moment on Kill Tony. Anyways, every episode of Kill Tony is at DeathSquad.tv. Did you know that? Including Theo Von. Oh shit. Theo Von. I love fucking Theo. And the 10-year. If you haven't seen the 10-year, Theo's on that too, with Ron White, Tom Segura, Joe Rogan. All of it. There you go. And how fun is this? I get to edit all day tomorrow another episode, because another episode comes out Monday. I love editing. Anyways, go to DeathSquad.tv. It's actually not bad. I enjoy editing Kill Tony because it is become such a fun show. I mean, all the podcasts I've ever done, this is definitely one of the most entertaining for me also. And just being on the show, it's just so fun. So check out DeathSquad.tv. Click on Shop Squad if you want to get some merch. Or at the very top, Sunset Strip Comedy Club. That's right. This is the comedy club I own. It's right next door to the mothership, right next door to Joe Rogan's club. So if you come to Austin, have a couple of extra days. Check out my club. I have a show every single fucking Thursday called The Secret Show. We took a week off because I was in Ohio, but we are coming back this week, Thursday. And let me just tell you, I already have this show almost booked. One of the people on the show is huge. He's actually filming his new, I think, Netflix special, and he's going to be on the show. I have one of Dave Chappelle's openers on the show. You might know a little guy from, you know what? There's a guy from the Comedy Store that's going to be on the show. And I'm not going to give this one away or too many hints. But I used to do a show with him on Death Squad. And he loves my dog. He calls it a puppy baby. And he goes, oh man, I can't even tell you how many people are on the show. There's like 4 more people. This is going to be a hot show. So if you're in town Thursday, check out the secret show at my club, Sunset Strip. Go to Sunset Strip ATX. Check out all the other shows they have. They have a bunch of shows all week long. Ooh, Rachel Wolfson from Jackass and Matt Edgar. I heard they're moving here. They got a show on July 15th. Easiest thing is just go to deathsquad.tv. All the links to everything I've been talking about is there. Sorry. You can also email me. Yeah. You can email me. There you go. There you go. Email me. Send me something on my P.O. box. I need to check it. I heard there's some new things there. There's some new things on my P.O. box. Boom. Oh, thanks for the tippy poo, Simon Yanni. Cheers. Thank you, man. 777. Thank you, Simon. Cheers to you. All right. My voice is fucked. All right. Let's do this. So, yes, I lived in Ohio for 30 years, and I have a weird thing with Ohio. If you lived in Ohio for that long, once you get out, it's hard to go back for many reasons. One, Ohio has some of the worst winters in the world, so most of your life is being tortured. I would say about 4 to 6 months of the year, your life is being tortured. Anyone in the Midwest knows what I'm talking about. You're late for work, scraping ice off your car, freezing cold temperatures, gray skies. When it's not snowing, you just have gray skies. You never see the sun. It's kind of got a thing going on like Seattle, you know, where it rains so much and the skies are all gray and everyone commits suicide. It's kind of got that going for it. Also, you know, I just work dead end job and dead end job and dead end job. And I mean, it was sad. And where I lived was one of those places where it was a lot of shopping centers and stores, and all of them started to close. Like Circuit City closed, and just these big box retail stores all just started closing. So there was just, where I lived was a lot of like just sad memories, like just empty buildings and parking lots. And it was just, there's nothing depressing living on by a street that was in the heyday, like the place to be, and then living somewhere where it's just abandoned strip malls and stores, and it just very, very sad. And when I lived there, I was pretty depressed. I worked a lot of restaurants. I went to college for graphic design, and not graphic design, but pretty much they didn't have the degree yet for building websites, you know. So I used to build websites, and they used to call it multimedia production and design because they didn't know what to call building websites. And the internet was brand new. No one knew how to make a website. So I went to college for that. Adobe, before it was Adobe, it used to be called Macromedia, and they're the ones that made Flash and Dreamweaver and all that stuff that Adobe ended up buying. And I don't know how they got a hold of me. I think they just found out that I went to college and I was one of the first students to do that. And I think they got a hold of me through that. Like, oh, you went to college for this. Not many people here learn our, like they found out there was students being taught how to make websites. So they got in touch with me and just started sending me product for free. They would send me like boxes of software that cost thousands and thousands of dollars. So, of course, I would be like, what programs? And I taught myself in college how to use Dreamweaver and Photoshop and all that stuff. And what am I getting at? So then I started making websites and, for companies. I quit college. Right before I was about to graduate, I quit because I was just getting offered all these jobs. Because they just were like, fuck that. We don't care. Work for us. And one of my jobs was working for this big Indian company. It was called the Software People. That's insane that it was called the Software People. It seems like that would be a company, or that just shows you how old it is. They actually called themselves the Software People. Now, I don't even know if this company is still around. Let me Google it right now. Yes. Not only is this still around, this is kind of fucking blowing my mind right now, guys. I think I made this website. I think the same website I made, I'm not fucking kidding. I promise you, I've never looked this up, and I think I made this website. Are you fucking kidding me right now? I think this is the same website I made. Is this? I think this is the website. This is in New York, though. Oh my God, though. I think this is the website I made. All right, that's kind of blowing my mind. I'm not 100% sure, but I feel like I made that website. Anyways, I worked for this company called the Software People. This is weird. And hold on real quick. I want to go to the Internet Archive. Internet Archive. Software People. I think there was a dash in it, though. Let me try a dash. No. Maybe not. Oh, hold on. Oh. Oh, wait. What year is this? What year is this? Oh, I'm wrong. No, this is the website I made. Check out this. I thought I made the best logo ever. This is it. Oh God. Get out of here, boxes. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, that's just... And by the way, you might be like, why is it so small? Because monitor resolution, like you got to imagine, the monitor resolution was like that. It covered the whole thing. But look at these little graphics I made. This is like 25 years ago, guys. Something like that. I forget when this was. This is a long time ago. Jobs. Projects. Oh, wow. Blowing my mind, guys. Anyways, I don't know how we went on this tangent, but Now I kind of want to look at some other things. And interesting enough, during this time period, I also worked for this company, and it was one of the scariest, weirdest things ever. I think I got 3 paychecks and they owed me 20. There was a point where for months I was the only employee that came into this big corporate building, and no one else was there. There was all these empty desks everywhere. And then I got to the point where my friend would come and just steal like chairs, like office chairs, because he was like, it looks like they don't want this chair. And then one day I was working and they busted down the door. Someone like just busted down the door, and it was raided by, I don't even know who it was, like the FBI or something. And they were like, who? And I'm like, hey, I work here. I think it's weird too. I haven't seen any other employee, for months. Here's all the numbers I have. And they're like, we're not looking for you. It was weird. And looking back at it, like, I never really found out what happened. Yeah. I should find out what that was all about. And I remember my client that I worked on, I was working on for some water company. I think it was not Aquafina, the one that has the sparkly trucks. Wait, no, was it? No, it was the one with the waterfall. Aqua Spring? I don't know, but I worked on their website and I made this animated waterfall GIF, and it looked like the water was coming down. It took me so long back then, because I was like painting it using a mouse and like pretty much paintbrush, and I made it animated, and it never was used. I never got paychecked. I never heard from anyone again. Sparklets. That's what it was, Black and Blue, thanks. And yeah, kind of sucked. Anyways, then I started working for Gateway Computers. It was a computer store, and they sold computers. I worked for like business sales mostly. And when I met Joe Rogan through the internet, he bought a computer from me, and I remember like he was just like, I'll take one of those and one of those, and I was like, oh my god, this is so cool, because I was on commission, and there was other, anytime you like, oh, I just got a whole school district, bing, 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 bing. But it still was bullshit. It was like you made $30 per computer or something like that. I don't know. Anyways, then Joe Rogan hired me, and he just called me up one day. He's like, hey, I would love you to like make videos for me, help with my website, things like that. And I was like, hell yeah, move to California? Fuck yeah. So I had to tell Gateway. So I was like, hey, to my general manager, it's like, hey, can I talk to you? And he's like, actually, I need to talk to you. We go into the manager's office, and we sit down, and he goes, all right, before you say whatever you have to say, Brian, Gateway's closing all their stores. Gateway's pretty much going out of business. Here's your severance pay. I think it was like $3,000 or something like that, severance pay. I was like, what? He's like, what did you want to talk about? And I was like, never mind. Because if I were to say I was going to put my 2-week notice, they probably could have taken the severance pay away almost, I think. I'm glad he talked first. It was almost like meant to be. It was like positive good luck energy, right? And of course, you guys know the rest. Moved to LA, started making videos for Joe, made the Carlos Mencia video, helped Joe make his podcast, created the Death Squad podcast network, Ari Shaffir, Your Mom's House, Kill Tony, all that stuff. Everything's been great. Every time I go to Ohio to visit my parents and my friends, I get depressed. I get sad. I get, it's like if Joe never hired me and I was still back and Gateway Computers wasn't around, and you know, working for that software people company. And by the way, the software people company, I forgot my job there was, it was like I was in a room full of like 50 Indian people fresh off the boat, and they were here to do software like to do computer stuff. They were computer nerds pretty much. And my job was to like help them with interviews and teach them like interview stuff while doing all the websites for this company. And so I would sit there in my room doing websites, and then there was a room next to me of like 50 Indian people, all with their own computer, like taking tests and learning things. And I would come in there and help them. And famously, I was they made a movie. I forget what the movie is. That is exactly what I used to do. I forget, anyone in the chat knows what that movie is. It's pretty much exactly what I did, helping Indian people on interviews and stuff. And then one time I told this one guy that he smelled really bad because he smelled like BO really bad. And I tried to tell him, like, look, you can't be like that. You have to wear deodorant, man. You can't, like, it's a thing out here. And he got really offended and yelled at me. And I had to tell the owner of the company, CEO, about it. And he got it. He knows what I was talking about. So he had to talk to the guy. Next day, that guy like came in like a full suit, smelling like Dove and shit. And I was like, fuck yeah, dude. That's awesome. But he was being sarcastic and being a dick. Because he just kept on looking at me like being like a dick and stuff. Like, dude, you look great and you smell great. You went above and beyond. I know you're trying to be a dick right now and being like an asshole. But that's exactly like you'll be like fucking president of the company, like outsourced. Thank you. That's the movie Outsourced. I don't even know if I saw it, but I saw the trailer of it or something, and it's the exact same. Outsourced. Yep. Yes. Let's look at this trailer real quick. If you're watching this on the replay, this part might be edited out, so sorry. Yeah, they edit trailers out. I'm helping a movie out, guys. It's called Outsource. Here's the trailer. Let's see if it's from 15 years ago, by the way.
I need you in my office.
Is this gonna take a while?
Todd, we decided to restructure order fulfillment. Offshore the whole department.
We need you in India.
No way, no. I'm not going to India to train my own replacement.
All you need to do is visit the call center and make sure the new guy's up to speed.
Bro, what is that?
Oh, that is just a cow. Must have wandered in. 1 minute.
Basically, you people need to learn about America. Hold your nose.
I mean, I didn't go to India. I pretty much did this in Dublin, Ohio.
Flatten about like Chicago.
Chicago.
Not a good time, buddy.
Now I wonder if they just hired me to write this movie. Like they just made me do it or something. This is like some Hollywood shit. This is exactly what I did. But in Ohio.
I assure you, I'm in Chicago.
Yeah, right.
Bro, this place is a disaster. I'm stuck in India the rest of my life. My name is Todd. Everyone says Toad.
Are you Mr. Toad?
Mr. Toad. Mr. Toad, how sweet.
You realize you're not on vacation over there?
Yeah, like I would come here for vacation.
Listen, Doc, just a word of advice. I remember feeling like you do. I was resisting India.
I don't know if I want to watch this whole trailer, guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. There was a point of when I worked there, it felt illegal. It did. Like, why was I training these people like him to be more American and why and stuff like that. And there was only one other white person in that worked for the company, and it was the receptionist. And you know who that was? My sister. What the fuck? And my sister got let go because she also was a hairdresser, and she had a cow print steering wheel cover, and they told her she needed to remove it because people saw it in the parking lot, and she wouldn't remove it, and so she got fired. I only worked here for about 6 months, I would say. 6 months, maybe. It was after 9/11 too, and it was like I mean, I was sitting there going, I mean, it paid really well. And it was the only reason I was like, why am I doing this? I'm going to skip ahead in this trailer because I don't want to watch this whole trailer, guys. I did not fall in love, by the way, at all. But you know what? They always had really nice, like, they had like, all of them were kind of like a family. Like, the whole company, we would, like, meet for food. Once a week, we would go to, I think it was the CEO's house, and it would be like this big food gathering. Like, it was like Thanksgiving every week. So there definitely was, like, this beautiful, like, culture group, you know, like, hey, we want to have fun type thing. But I didn't fall in love at all.
Someone's got to train the new guy.
Well, I guess we missed a lot of it.
Some things I don't understand about American life. You hate your boss, and you don't like this company. Why not choose something else?
Why didn't you say anything?
Why didn't you say anything? I don't know how this country works.
Watch out!
This movie looks stupid.
You must jump!
Yeah, this movie looks stupid. Anyways, what I was getting at is that when I got hired to LA and I had to go there, anytime going back, it just reminded me of these days. And all my friends are still stuck in these kind of jobs. And almost all of them are married and with kids. And they pretty much, just like I was about to do, give up on life. And I was very lucky. Joe, I mean, I fucking kiss Joe every day if he would let me. Because he really did save me, moving to LA and like really like not falling for that brainwash shit. So every time I go back to Ohio, it's very sad. It's hard for me to go there and see your friends and just be like, or hang out with your parents and they're talking for hours about like their dogs having hip issues and stuff, and you're just like, oh my God, like it's hard for me. It really is hard for me. Janice thinks I'm a rude asshole, but I'm not. I have to not get depressed about how people live their life. So one fun thing is I went there for my dad's 80th birthday. My dad is 80 years old. So I was like, I have to go there. 80 years old, you know, that's old. That's old. I am turning 49 next month, which is old as fuck. My last hurrah in the 40s. Then I'm 50 years old. How the fuck am I 50 years old? So I had to go there for my dad's 80th birthday. It was awesome. I got to hang out with my whole family, like cousins and brothers and half brothers and nephews and nieces and it's hard because they now all know who I am and who I work for. And a lot of them probably are watching right now. And it's, a lot of you, when you go back to your family and stuff, your extended family, it is easy just to be like, what are you doing? I'm working still. I'm tired. A lot of these people know a lot of things about me, and you don't know what they know about you. And, and it's very weird. Very extra layer weird. It makes all that a lot weirder. Especially when you throw around how people are so passionate about sides of the political stuff and big thing, people are so passionate about that shit. I don't give a shit about political shit. Never have. It seems like growing up, political shit wasn't a part of my life until like the last 10 years. It was never like, I don't give a fuck. I liked Ronald Reagan because he liked jelly beans. I thought that was hilarious as a kid. I was a huge Clinton fan. I love anyone that I don't know, was human, I guess. I don't know. It's like when you see weathermen, if they're fun and they seem like a normal human person, I like them. Growing up, there was a guy named Ben Gelber. He was our local weatherman. I saw him at this restaurant I used to work at, and he was a nice guy. And I was like, oh my God, in Columbus, Ohio, before the internet, you saw your weatherman at your restaurant that you're working at. That's a celebrity. Turned out he was a huge pill and drug guy. He had to quit. He just got too big into pills and drugs. And if you see him, you'd be like, no way. That motherfucker. So going home, seeing all my family was very fun. Now, we stayed at a hotel that was I'm from a place called Dublin, Ohio / Worthington, Ohio. I pretty much had two houses, mostly lived in Dublin, but went to Worthington schools, mostly. Beginning part of my life, I mostly went to Dublin. But this area of Dublin that I knew very well is because my mom used to work for Dave Thomas, Wendy's. She used to be like an executive. She worked for Dave. I might be Dave's kid. I'm just kidding. But I know that area very well. And we stayed at a hotel that was right next to Wendy's headquarters, because Dublin has this whole new thing where they took this like shitty shopping strip, abandoned shopping strip. They tore it all down. They made these huge, crazy hotels and tons of restaurants. They have like a market there, like one of those markets where you go in and there's like a million tiny restaurants and like Korean corn dog places and sushi place. Like they have like 40 different like high-end restaurants and hotel. They changed this overnight into one of the most insane, like it feels like you're in a different city. You definitely don't feel like you're anywhere near Ohio. And they have this whole thing where you go over this what is it? Lake? Not a lake. River. Jesus. And then the whole thing is called like River Bridge or something. I don't even know what it's called. It's in Dublin. And you go over this like really high-end, cool walking bridge. It looks badass. And you go to this old school part of Dublin where it's all these old restaurants that have been there, like houses, 1800 houses. It's such a cool bridge park. It's such a cool little area and just amazing. Now, I had been there before when it was very small. Like it was just like a couple restaurants. And one of my favorite places was in Columbus, Ohio, is a arcade bar. I think it's called 8-Bit. It's downtown Columbus. And they have a new, it's not new, it's been out for like 5 years. New location called 16-Bit. And 16-Bit is this big version of what is downtown. Downtown, it's just like a small arcade bar with a bar in the middle and a bunch of arcade games everywhere. And this version's bigger, spread out, and it's also connected to another company that they own, which is like mini bowling. Have you seen those? They're like mini bowling lanes, and the ball's like smaller. I forget what it's called. And it's a really cool place. It's one of my favorite places. I've gone there like maybe 3 different times. Every time I'm in Ohio, I try to go to 16-Bit in Dublin. And we went there to meet with a bunch of my friends. I have a few friends, like deep old school friends, my old roommate from college, and my friend that I grew up with since 3rd grade, and my other friend who I knew even younger when I was in kindergarten. It's pretty much my 3 main friends in Columbus, Ohio that I grew up with. And we met there. Janice, my girlfriend, came there. And one thing I noticed is that they had, when we were walking in, they had this teeter-totter. It was made out of metal. It was just like a seesaw, I guess. Is that what they call it? A seesaw? Look at this little seesaw. And it's made out of metal. And it's just sitting there. And the first thing I thought of, like, this is one of the most drunkest cities in the world. Everyone here gets fucking butt-ass wasted. And they put a metal seesaw just sitting there, no signs anywhere. It's just sitting there on some ass. And the first thing I said when we walked by, it was me and Janice, and I said, that looks like a bad idea. I mean, just think, late at night, what the fuck's going on there? Well, guys, to skip ahead, had a great night, hung out with my friends. Then at the end of the night, our sweet girlfriend decided she wanted to go on that seesaw with my friend that weighs over 200 pounds. And this happened. She has knocked out, destroyed. Not only her lips were all fucked up. A lot of people said that, are you sure it happened on a seesaw? And she just, wouldn't shut up. And I was like, you know what? I mean, no. This is what she looks like now, guys. She's missing a tooth. So her new name is Missing Tooth. And I don't know. Is there any lawyers in the audience? Is there any lawyers in the chat room? Is this something that just seems like is a bad idea at a bar? Because it's kind of driving me a little crazy. Like, we're so nerfed in our world, but you literally have a metal seesaw and you're serving alcohol. I don't know. I don't know, guys. You know why I don't know? You guys know why I don't know? Because what if I told you I have the whole thing on video? And what if I told you when you see it, you're going to be in your head probably thinking this is the most violent thing I'm ever going to see, getting poor girl getting her fucking teeth knocked out. This is going to be bad. No, it's not. This is actually the opposite. This is going to show you how easy it was for it to happen. And which makes it, I think, in my opinion, even worse. Enjoy my girlfriend going from a 9 to an 8. And I want you to know when it happens, I'm going to tell you right now, when it happens, I start screaming, oh my God, she knocked all her teeth out. Oh, she's trying to find her teeth. Ah, blah, blah, blah. I was fucking kidding. That's how, like, when you see it, it's not, you're going to be like, wait, it just happened right there? Like, I was just so against her being on this metal seesaw. I said that, but swear to God, I had no idea. And then you'll see my friend turn around and be like, oh, like that. And I'm like, oh, that was a serious face. I've never seen my friend do that face before. So just so you know, I'm not being a dick. Like, I was just kidding, and it happened to be real. It's my friend Jason. What's up, Jason?
This is awesome.
You could troll her. You can make her fly anywhere she wants. Oh my God, my voice. I haven't not watched
Don't
it.
kill her.
Now, how does the thing work? Like, if I get closer, will it equilibrium?
Yeah, maybe.
But you probably don't want to.
You don't want to do that. Were you gonna release your power?
Yeah, we gotta even this out.
She acted like a fool to you. She's embarrassing you. She's embarrassing you, dude. Oh! You can just slide back.
Here we go.
Oh, she just broke all her teeth.
No, all her teeth are out. She's trying to find her teeth now. I didn't think her teeth were really out. I did not think that's what just happened. Now, one thing that was brutal is that, see how close the handle is, how short the handle is? That should be a lot higher. That should be about 4 times higher. So that doesn't happen. You don't flip over. But because it's so short, and the pressure of it, she held on to that so she wouldn't fly off. But it just made her fly over. It's a bad design of a seesaw. Oh my God. I mean, that was the first time. I'm ready. I'm ready to just be honest with you. That was the first time me watching it with audio and bigger than like an iPhone, like screen just going, eh. That was brutal to watch, dude. That was very brutal to watch. Oh, fuck. Wow. Janice will be in VR for part 2 of Virtual Redban. She will talk about what happened, how she feels, and everything for part 2. If you don't know, oh my gosh, if you don't know, what the hell is wrong with Photoshop right now? So smooth, Brian. How are you guys in the chat room right now? Fuck. You know what's funny is that this happened, Thursday? And we had to go, last 2 days she's had it, and every time she opens her mouth, you could see it. She looks so different. She looks like such a such a hillbilly or something. I don't know. She looks like some skater punk now. Like she's the opposite now of what she usually like, oh, look at this cute little polite girl. Now she's like the gangster or something. It's crazy. Yeah, I think she handled it like a champ also. I didn't. I feel like a dick when I see that video. Isn't that crazy though? The last thing I thought was that happened. To the point, I was just joking. I don't even know what she was looking at the ground. I was like, what is she looking at the ground? And then when my friend turned around and was like pointing at me like, wait, she did lose her teeth? Like, there was no way in my head I thought that for a second. Because if you watch her fall, she just kind of fell like that. It was very slow. Crazy. I think Stud Muffin is mimicking a popular Adult Swim character as his voice in VR, Redban. It needs to be addressed in virtual court. Are you talking about MCP Pants, perhaps? Because I would agree. I mean, that's why we call him MC Chris. Let me try to open Photoshop again. Anyways, I think I'm gonna have like a part 2 of Ohio. A lot happened in Ohio. I want to talk about. I filmed a lot of video, and I think whenever shit settles down, because I have to edit all day tomorrow, I have to edit Kill Tony. Like literally all day. I usually start like 2 days ago. I should have started on my laptop. Anyways, once shit settles down a little, I'm going to edit like all the Ohio stuff and even show more and show you I visited Wendy's headquarters, did some Wendy's stuff. I'll show you just some other random stuff about Ohio. I also tried some new food and all that. One thing I wanted to say before we go into part 2. Oh, God. It might be too late. It crashed. Yeah, it crashed. I can't undo this now. You guys might be like, what is Brian talking about? Well, Photoshop crashed, and I'm just going to get to the goo of it. Usually I try to Photoshop the thumbnail for part 2 while closing out part 1. And so you guys don't even know, it just makes me sound like I'm a crazy person. Well, this time it crashed, and so I have to start over. But it's okay. I'm going to do a different style. Yeah. Yeah, anyways, so once I do like a part 2 of the Ohio thing, it will make a lot more sense of all this stuff. This was just a last minute thing, and I wanted to show what happened to poor sweet Janice, because she's probably going to come on part 2 and talk about it and her dramas, and maybe she will talk about her version of Ohio and meeting my family and stuff. I don't know what I'm talking about, guys. The jet lag part of this is kind of coming into play. Anyways, I'm almost done with this new thumbnail. I had to get creative. I had to think outside of the box. I had to... God, my voice is fucked up. I didn't even get to why my voice is fucked up. I actually had a whole issue, and I think we might have a reason for it. Anytime I have to go on a trip, I usually get really stressed out, like, because it's so much like I have to plan for, like editing, and you know, even if I take days off, I'm still working. Like, it's hard for me to fully just go on vacation or something, or go somewhere. And I think because of that, it always makes me sick every time, like, I have to go somewhere. I end up usually getting sick, and it happened this time too. I got sick right before, and it's not like viral sick. It's always like, no, I just get like really bad allergies almost, like the cough. Like a viral infection of the Ohio too. And it's never really bad. Okay, I made the thumbnail now. I can stop babbling. All right, guys. I'm sorry for the last 15 minutes of this episode. That was because I was making a thumbnail for part 2. If you're new here, this is part 1 of Virtual Redban. It's in 2 parts. Second part is where we actually go into virtual reality. You want a sneak peek? Ooh, look at that. It's like virtual reality. Part 2 is in virtual reality. It's actually like completely different than what you're watching right now. And it's good for, you know, putting it on the background while you're doing other shit. You're looking at TikToks, or you're cleaning, or just hanging out. It's a good background noise show. And part 2 will start in about 10 minutes. So grab a drink, take a piss, walk the dog, plan your trip to Ohio. You have 10 minutes. And in 10 minutes, come back to YouTube, or go to my Twitter, go to my thread. And part 2 will start in 10 minutes. See you soon.